Hello, listeners. Today, in this video, we are going to talk about the major trends in the energy sector. Now, first of all, energy is one of those things we often take for granted, but it powers nearly everything we do. Whether it's driving to work, running a business, or even living off the grid, energy is at the center of it all. It's not just a product, it's essential. Without it, everything grinds to a halt. That's why the future of energy is so important. Now, every year, the International Energy Agency, IEA, releases its World Energy Outlook, a report that gives insight into global energy trends and helps us see where the industry is headed. The 2024 edition is out, and it highlights both the short and long term changes. Let's start with the immediate picture. Right now, about 75% of the world's energy comes from the fossil fuels, oil, gas, and coal. But according to the IEA, these sources are facing growing uncertainty. First of all, the political tensions, like those in the Middle East, pose the big risk. For example, the Strait of Hormuz is a narrow waterway through which 20% of the world's oil and liquefied natural gas LNG passes. Any disruption there could have a huge impact, similar to what we have saw during the Russia-Ukraine conflict, when global energy markets were shaken. These kinds of disruptions aren't new nowadays, and they will happen again. To prepare for such situations, IEA member countries are required to keep a strategic reserve of oil, which is equivalent to 90 days of the previous year imports. This safety net helps stabilize the markets when crises hit, though it's mainly net importing countries that rely on this buffer. The bigger story, though, is the shift we are seeing over the medium term. The move towards the clean energy is gaining the real momentum. In 2023, about $2 trillion was invested in the clean energy, nearly double the amount spent on the fossil fuels. This investment is starting to reshape the energy landscape. The IEA projects that by 2035, all new growth in energy demand could be met entirely by clean energy. If that happens, it could mark the beginning of the end for fossil fuels, with demand for oil, gas, and coal peaking soon after. So, what's driving the big shift to clean energy? There are a few main reasons. Now, first of all, the cost. Over the years, clean energy technologies have become much cheaper. By 2027, China is expected to produce enough solar panels to meet the global demand twice over. And it's not just solar, wind turbines, battery storage, and the electrical vehicles batteries have all seen the price drops of 25% to 75% since 2015. While this has mostly benefited the wealthier nations and China, it's a big step forward. The challenge now is making clean energy more accessible to the developing countries. The second big driver is the electrification. Demand for electricity has grown twice as fast as overall energy demand in the last decade, with about two-thirds of this growth coming from the China. Right now, a big chunk of the world's oil use goes towards the transportation. But as more EVs hit the road, we are gradually moving away from gasoline powered engines. This shift is changing how we are consuming the energy and speeding up the transition to the cleaner sources. Despite this progress, the IEA reminds that we are still not on track to meet the global climate goals. Current policies are setting us up for a 2.4 degrees Celsius rise in the global temperatures by 2100, which would come with serious risks as the climate crisis worsens. While clean energy is gaining ground, there's still a gap between where we are and where we need to be to keep these risks under control. Interestingly, we are seeing a shift in power within the energy markets. For the first time in a while, consumers, whether they are governments, businesses, or individuals, are gaining more influence. As clean energy options become more affordable and also accessible, people are no longer stuck relying on the fossil fuels. This puts pressure on energy suppliers to adapt and offer cleaner alternatives. Those who don't invest in sustainable solutions risk being left behind as customers increasingly look for greener options. That said, there's still a potential downside if fossil fuel investments continue. If suppliers focus too much on the short term availability and also the affordability of the fossil based energy, they could slow down the transition to clean energy. And while fossil fuel prices seem stable now, the IEA warns that energy markets are cyclical, which is the prices will rise again, making it heavy reliance on fossil fuels a risky bet. On the flip side, clean energy technologies are becoming more cost effective and also stable. Unlike fossil fuels, which are prone to the price swings, renewable sources offer much more consistency. The decisions we make today will shape not just the future of energy, but it will also the ability to manage the climate risk. The IEA points that delaying the switch to clean energy will only make the cost both economic and environmental higher in the long run. In short, we are at a key moment. The move to clean energy is picking up speed, but there's still a lot of work to be done to ensure a sustainable future. Government, businesses, individuals, they all are playing a role in making this transition happen. And sooner we embrace it, the better prepared we will be to avoid the risk of the warming planet. Also, in the further videos, we would be seeing how the Blinkit has introduced a 10-minute return and exchange services for clothing and footwear in the select Indian cities, making it a direct competitor to Myntra and Ajio. This would be the next video, which we will be launching soon. Also, on the next video, we would be seeing how the gold prices have hit a new high of 78,900 per 10 grams due to the strong demand and global uncertainties. Investors are turning to gold as a safe option amid the market volatility and geopolitical tensions. The next thing which is trending on is the RBI's crackdown on six P2P lending platforms for regulatory violations and has led to the 95% drop in the business volumes. This has increased the operational cost and put pressure on the small players. Then the further topics are the Indian Railways. The Indian Railways has started to use the artificial intelligence to improve the seat allocation. It is also boosting the confirmed ticket rates by 30%. AI is also being used to improve the cleanliness checks and manage the resources, leading to the better passenger satisfaction. So this all we have discussed in our today's video. I hope you have liked our video. Do subscribe to our channel and like the video and share it with your friends. Thank you.